so with your garlic, I've already smashed one. What you're gonna wanna do is go like that and give it a big old whack. And that just breaks it up and that'll peel the skin off for you naturally. I've seen where you can like shake them in a mason jar or something and hopefully get the skins off, but you know, I tried it. It works half and half. I mean, I try to be on the positive with this stuff, but it doesn't always work. And then you're just gonna mince it. Doesn't have to be super fine, doesn't have to be perfect little pieces, but enough so that it's broken up and you're getting those juices to come out. And then we'll move that to the side. And we're gonna take our onion and work the onion bag, you saw that. And I know a lot of the chefs that I follow myself, they're like, why do people do this? Why do people leave half an onion like this? Well, quite frankly, because I'm not gonna use the whole thing. That's why I buy a big onion. I mean, if you're just gonna be using a bit of it on your salad for lunches, like, just go ahead and slice a little bit off. It's not gonna hurt anybody, and it's your fridge. Nobody else is gonna look at it unless you're taking a photo, so it's fine. But in this case, we are gonna be using a bit more for this sauce. So I'm gonna take a big old hunk here and just slide right in, and voila, or Vidalia. Actually, this is yellow onion, but puns aside, voila! There we are, and you're just gonna peel this off. Now I don't need a lot of onion and garlic for this sauce because the sauce that I'm using already has onion, garlic, and seasoning in it, but I like to add a little bit of oomph for my own preferences. And then you're gonna take off the part that's really hard and crusty on the top of the onion, like where that little top hair piece is, and you'll just slice this up. And you can do it any old way, and I try my hardest when I slice an onion to have my fingers like a claw, and that way you're least likely to slice into yourself. Slicing your finger off with a knife, I haven't done it with these yet, but slicing your finger off with a knife, especially a dull one, is not fun. I've worked in a kitchen and I've had many accidents due to dull knives or patrons shouting at me to move faster, and that's never fun either. So hopefully your kitchen is nice and quiet like mine today. So you can line these up if you're able to, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Big old rough chops on there so that you know what you're eating in your sauce, and you've got a nice bit of texture but flavor as well. All right, so we're gonna check on our meat, and I didn't completely thaw this like I wanted to, but you know, life gets in the way. So I'm just gonna check on this and try to break it up some. I've got my heat on low. Now I have a gas stove and I'm still learning how to use it because it is differently. Well, turning it on and off is the same way, but the amount of heat that comes out of it is a direct source of heat, as opposed to an electric stove that you have to wait to heat up. The gas is just right there and ready to go, and you can hear that sizzle. You can just use it right away, and the pan's gonna be hot to touch at first, and of course it will heat up, but it's very different than the electric stoves that I've been cooking on for the rest of the prior years. So here we've got the meat starting to cook and thaw all together. So I think I'm just gonna turn the heat up a bit more and try to get this cooking a little bit faster, because man, it's frozen. Good thing we got time before dinner tonight. All right, so we've made some progress with the meat. Still coming along, but I'm gonna add in our onions and garlic here and start to get that permeated in the meat. That's just what I like to do. You can always, if you want, saute it separately or whatever. I'm one pot, try to keep it one pot kind of person. So we're just gonna scrape that in and then mix it up. Here, get all those good bits off there. You waste not, want not. That is my motto. And I'm gonna put the lid back on just for another few minutes, just to make sure that these pink bits of the meat are totally thawed before I start browning everything, or at least the rest of it, and kind of cook off the rest of that fat. While my meat is finishing up, I got the garlic and onions in there. I like to add carrots to my tomato sauce, and I think it started when I was just looking to get rid of some of the acidity, because I was having acid reflux issues in my early 20s, and I just wanted to add a little bit of sweetness and not add sugar, because that is one way to mitigate acidity in a dish, is to add sugar to a tomato and you break that acid. But the better way to do it, and the healthier way, is carrots. Now, buying a bulk bag of carrots at the grocery store can be daunting, trust me. I don't like doing it myself. I always feel way too obligated to make a carrot cake or something, and it's really unnecessary. So I always get a bag of shredded carrots, because I also use these for oatmeal in the morning. I do make carrot cake oatmeal, and there's no real sugar, white sugar in it. It's oatmeal with maple syrup. And I can make that one later for you, but so I just use the shredded carrots and I kind of chop them up a little bit, break them up in the sauce, and then since this is going to be heating for a while, those carrots will soften down, and it just adds something cool to your sauce, and also the vegetable aspect, because I'm always looking for a different way to add in a vegetable to a meal. Having changed my eating habits in the last couple of years, I've of course added a lot more salads and taken out bread and carbs, but I try to replace the carbs with something else, a vegetable. So instead of rice, I might do riced cauliflower and cheat a little, because, you know, who wants to grate up cauliflower? Sure, you can put it in a food processor, but our food processor is probably the size of this tea kettle, and that holds nothing for two people, especially one hangry man at the end of the day. So a bag of frozen cauliflower mixed in with carrots and peas, like that's fried rice right there. And adding in carrots to your meat sauce, that's just another vegetable. It's just a little bit more oomph to your meal too, because you're getting that texture along with the onions and the garlic and that. You're just adding more essence to your food, and you're just going to make it that much better. So we've got that, and I added some salt and pepper to the meat as well. And even though the seasoning is already in the sauce, still want to heighten that flavor, so I've got some oregano and some Italian seasoning. I just eyeball everything, just like those carrots. I pull out maybe what looks like a quarter of a cup, and you just dice it up. It doesn't have to be perfect. And just sprinkle on some extra seasoning here, just, you know, a little bit, whatever kind of mood you're in. Just don't dump the whole thing on there, and that would just be eating a plate of scraps, which is a salad, but, you know, that won't taste good on top of your pasta. And the pasta is actually quinoa and brown rice pasta that we found at Trader Joe's, because, I mean, where else you can find nifty things? But I first found this at Trader Joe's, and I really like it there. And they don't sponsor me, but I definitely share a lot of their meals. And the Chana Masala idea that I had came from Trader Joe's. When I was beginning of quarantine last year, I looked at their Instagram page and I said, this looks mighty tasty. I've always wanted to try Indian food, so why not take a stab at this? And I always try to tell people about it, and I hope you really enjoyed that video, because it was definitely fun to make, and even better to eat that dish. Always a good way to wrap a video is to eat your makings. Alright, so I've got my pasta water on here, and I know a lot of people get mixed signals with salting your water. I like to, because you need the flavor, and you just need flavor. I know it's salt, sodium's not always that great for you, but I look at it as more of a flavor, and I try hard not to add salt into other parts of my meal so that you can use the flavor concept as like carrying your sodium level, if you will. So we're just gonna lid this up and start on the sauce. Now I've got to get the other jar because this is just half of one. I know, I'm one of those people. I save something and then let's see. So if I want to, I might do the old grandma trick that I have of putting a little splash of water in, shaking it up, get the rest of the sauce out. I might just use a spoon because, you know, dishwasher, and I don't really want to dilute any of the flavor of the sauce because I don't like doing that. And if you can hear the cat in the background, that's just Princess. Alright, so we've got the first half jar of sauce there, and I'm just going to grab the other one and be back. Alright, so we've got our pasta water boiling. We've got our pasta. So this is the brown rice quinoa pasta, but I've got my trusty spaghetti stirrer handy because this pasta likes to stick to itself. So I'm only going to cook half because last time I made the whole bag, it lasted like 4 meals for us. So I'm just going to pop half of this in and splash of oil because maybe it'll help this time. I hear yes and no on water and your pasta, or oil in your pasta water. I haven't done it in a really long time, but I'm hoping that this time it does help with the stickiness of this pasta. And it could very well be the fact that it's quinoa and brown rice, but you never know. Could just be me. So we're gonna put that in, and our sauce is still going out at it. I've just got it on like a medium-low heat, and it's bubbling away. I just wanted to make sure to get the sauce all nice and warm instead of serving cold sauce, hot meat. That's really awkward for your meal. And yeah, we'll be back in a few.
Alright guys, so we kind of skipped a bit ahead and just drained our pasta from the water. Things I try to keep in mind when draining hot water from pasta or potatoes is to always use pot holders. Getting burned from steam is not fun at all. Also, if you wear glasses like I do, I definitely suggest taking them off so you can see what you're doing. Alright, and our final product of the sauce is ready to go. You can see that the carrots softened, and it just adds that unexpected dimension to your dish. Another vegetable and added sweetness to cut the acidity of those tomatoes. The meat and the veggies all came together in this sauce, and I'm super excited to plate this up, or bold in this case. You can add grated parm if you want. I like mine as is. I think the simplicity of this meal is what makes it shine. A good old comfort food is what the soul needs. And, well, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. Next time, we'll be venturing into the realm of breakfast. Yeah, so if you need to catch up, click on these videos down here. I'm pointing down there. And subscribe to Sweetly Savory. Click on the left over there. So yeah, thanks so much for watching.